Good morning, YouTube. How are we doing out there this morning? We are out on another journey this morning. If I can get it pulled out here on the highway. We're headed to Wyoming County, West Virginia, just over next county from me. We're headed to Twin Falls State Park. It's over in a little place called Salisville. And it's a real nice park. It's a state park. It's a little over 4,000 acres of wilderness. They got camping, golf, they got all sorts of different types of things to do there. But they got a falls there. It's like a waterfall. That's what the park was named after. But after the falls, at one time was an old gristmill. Well, a gristmill is a mill that they would mill the corn down into flour and stuff like that, and they used the water, the rushing water, to turn the big wheels to turn in big stones. But anyway, we're headed over this morning. We're gonna check it out. I think it's just the ruins of it's all that's left, but I think there's an old cabin there on the park. It was built in the not 19, but the 1830s. People still living there, in fact. So we're gonna head over that way before it gets real hot today. I know Heather and Leo got up with me, want to know if I want to do some detecting. I think we had started to plan that this week coming, but it's going to be so hot, supposed to be up near 100 degrees, so we're going to postpone that for just a little bit. He'll probably tell y'all where we're going to go. I don't know too much about it, but we're going to go do some detecting somewhere here for long. But anyway, we're going to go over here today, and we're going to check out this old gristmill area here to see what's still left of it. So let's head over and check it out. We'll be right back with you in a bit. Okay, finally made it up here to the lodge. Look at that beautiful place up here. I've been up here once or twice. But well, here's a nice memorial for the coal miners that they had put up. It's beautiful. It's polished granite, looks like. It says here, in memory of the coal miners of southern West Virginia who perished from the mine accidents or lung disease. May they rest in peace. Wow. Folks, here's the stones I was talking about. These was the actual stones for Foley's Mill. There's two of them. See how they got the grooves cut in them? That was actually grooves that both of these stones went together and turned in a fashion to grind the corn and the meal into meal. These is actually the stones from this mill that we're going to here just in a bit. But it says that actually these stones was moved from several different places to this location to be displayed here. Several people had them over the years, and they had donated them here to the park to be on display here at the lodge. Ain't that so cool? They had hewn these out with chisels and stuff, and by hand. This is actually sandstone type rock. So these is actually the two actual millstones that were used here at the mill that we're going down to see here in just a bit. Wow, that's so cool. I didn't even know they were on display here at all. until I read it here on this paper. So what we're going to do is we're going to ride up to the farm, see the old cabin here just in a few minutes. I think it's one of the farms that was here on the this location when this mill was in operation. Actually, the farm was house was built much before the mill was. I think the mill was in the late 1890s, but we'll get into that just in a bit. But so we're gonna go up there and check that farm out. It's actually still a working farm that people are living there still. We'll see if we can get close enough to it to see what it looks like. So I just thought I'd stop by and show you these millstones. It's some of the, well, one of the very few things that are left of the old gristmill. The mill was called Foley's Mill. All right, let's head over yonder and see if we can find this cabin, this farm. Be back with you in a bit. Hey everybody, I'm up here on the park and I come up on this old graveyard here. I just want to, boy, this is from way back. I'd say it's back during the times they lived here back in the late 1800s or early 1800s. Don't even have any names on the stone. Maybe just one of them over does. Very old cemetery. These are probably back from the times of the Gristmill time. Our loved one, Eddie, Canada, 1899-1905. That's the latest stone that I see here that you can read. Well, all these is hand cut sandstone, looks like. Angeline Wood, August 24th, 1860 to 1897. That's an old. So this park was actually a community in here, I'm sure. This is chained off, but it wasn't locked. Somebody had the chain down there. So I'm gonna go out there and find the old cabin. I just thought I'd stop by here. I seen this as I come by. Thought I'd stop by and look at it a few minutes. It was peaceful here. See if we can go find the old cabin. Okay, we're over here at the old Pioneer Farm, the entrance to it anyway. It's called Bowers Farm back in the day. This farm was one of the few farms that was here back in that time, and this is the only one I know of that's actually still here. It's got a cabin on it. It says here in 1835, Peter Belcher built a cabin in a low gap, what would eventually become known as Bowers Ridge. So walk down, take a look at it here. It's the old split rail fence. You don't see that much anymore. And I'd say all these woods, all this land in here was hardly didn't have a tree on it, I'd say. It was all farmland. They had to farm to live, actually. Because back in those days, you just didn't go out and buy your food. You had to either kill it or grow it around here. It's peaceful, beautiful place. It's kind of takes you back in time. Looks like coming up on this old cabin. Here now it's an old dirt road. Actually, a vehicle passes, but I'm sure back in that time it's horse and buggy or wagons that actually traveled this. I'd say at one time, children run all over this place playing. Check out the old fence. I think got a little garden growing down here. I don't see how anything has grown this year. The temperatures has been so high and we have hardly had any rain. Looks like we got a little fellow over there standing guard over the garden. We got him a little garden growing, looks like. Got some squash out there, some corn right here. Sunflowers down there. My daughter, she grows them things. Beautiful old stone chimney from back in the day. Big maples in the yard. And here you got horseshoes. People ain't played them around here in many years. Horseshoe boxes. We used to play them all the time. That was a pastime for us back when I was a kid. Look there, there's an old well, hand-drawn well right over here. You can kind of see it there. We got my deer skin on the porch, hanging on the wall. Well, that does bring back old times right there. Look at the roof up there. That's the old slab roof they used to they'll cut, like use poplar and cut boards to make shingles with. An old big walnut tree here. Oh, if this place, this old land could talk. Look at this old sawmill over here. That's so cool. So they made their own boards and own building material with an old sawmill. Beautiful. Just takes you back in time. Just take photos and photographs and view from here. Do not enter enclosures. We will not enter no enclosures that we're not supposed to. Well, look at this, we got a pig out here. Look at him, he's eating. Look at him there. He's chawing on something out there. Looks like an old horse barn. Barn for horses. See an old horseshoe on the side of the wall there. Well, I'm loaded up. Headed in toward the falls here. I got a gate right here. You can't get by here. You have to, it's from foot here on. I don't even know if there's gonna be water in the falls. We ain't had any rain forever, so long. Look how dry the woods look. The creek's down in there, but we'll head on out here to the falls and see if, oh my goodness. Lordy gee. Look at that hornet's nest. I do not want none of that right there. That right there will fire your wig up. So let's see if we can sneak on by here. Get away from this. That's interesting. But I'll tell the park rangers when I come back out about this. Nobody mentioned that. Don't look like to be taken care of. That's a huge nest. Hornets will absolutely tear you up. Lord have mercy. Look like the creek is dry, pretty much. I'd say there is no water coming off the falls no more. I know it used to be a beautiful falls back some years ago that I were here. All right, I think we're about there. We'll get back with you in a minute. That's pretty cool, actually. A lot better than what it was last time I was here. Yeah, they built this landing and stuff since I've been here last. Ain't much of a falls, is it? What used to be. Yeah, we starting to get the rain again. It'll start running good again. Well, folks, I found it. It's wasn't far out from the falls here, on the right-hand side over the bank. Let's see if we can ease down and look at some of it here. Looks like a good place for a snake. Come down in here, be careful. It's kind of steep. Let's see if we can go down around it and look at the size of it. In a few minutes, I'll go over what it was about and how big it was and all that good stuff. As you can see, it was huge. Well, it was way up through there. You can see an opening through a hole there. You see right there, we was talking about where they had the shaft come out for the wheel into the water down there. Phew, well, I made it down here. It was a journey. There ain't been nobody fooling around here in a long time. Man, gotta worry about watching for snakes here. This is a snaky looking place. But yeah, this is it right here. It's the old remnants of the gristmill that they used back in the day. Look at all these stacked stones, what it took manpower it would take to build this. It looks like it's, well, we'll get into the dimensions of it here in a few minutes. See right there, this dip here is actually where the, more likely where the shaft come through with the big water wheel over here. It went down into this creek. The creek's dried up now though. Look at this cut out hole here in the wall. Where the mechanical parts probably come through the wall there to go into the creek, the big water wheel. And then the rest of the structure of the building was sitting on top of all that right there. Wow. Here's the side of it. I'm going back up here. Look how straight that's stacked up through there. There's rocks. That one rock right here, probably 7 feet long. Huge rocks. Yeah, let's see if I get up through here without breaking the neck. Phew. Finally made it up that hill. Boy, that was some big stones and took a lot of work to build. I guess y'all wondering, some of y'all wondering, what is a gristmill? What exactly is a gristmill? In simple terms, it's a mill where you ground your grains like corn and your wheats and stuff like that. That's what they used back in the day. And the early grist mills, the earliest ones, was within the 1600s. Grinding grains goes back centuries before that. Think of the mortar and the pestles and it can grind. Something as simple as a dill seed or a whole black peppercorn. This is how grains were first ground. As time went on, large stones were replaced, the mortar and the pestle, in order to grind the larger quantities of grain. And people would turn the heavy stones until the water power grist mills was created, which is what this was, the water powered ones. So that's what a grist mill is. This one here is actually called Foley's Mill, because a guy named Marion Foley built this along with some other folks back in the late 1800s. In fact, it was completed in 1882. We'll read a little bit about it here, about him, in fact. Marion Foley was born in Wyoming County, West Virginia in 1854. His parents had moved from Virginia, settled in an unknown address. Marion married Martha Varied of Virginia in 1877. He purchased 60 acres of land located near Cabin Creek Falls, which this is the falls right here. With help from his wife to help with the area here. John White, thought to be a brother-in-law, host of the neighbor, he began building Foley's Mill. The work was completed, like I said, in 1882. Most of the difficult task was construction of the huge 28-foot diameter water wheel. Next in importance was the crafting of the 42-inch millstones, which we saw up there at the lodge earlier today. The gray-colored granite-like rocks was found nearby, pulled by horses and sleds to the mill location. The rock was tediously hand-chiseled into 2 round stones, and a square hole was cut through one, while a round hole with key holes was cut through the other, second one. Finally, the stones were dressed and sharpened. Grooves were for grinding meal. Later, these grooves would have to be sharpened again as they were worn down. Foley's Mill was kept busy furnishing meal for the area farmers, but in the late 1890s, disgruntled neighbors saw the fit to burn the mill down, and again Foley's good neighbors came to the rescue, and within a few months they had the mill rebuilt again. I didn't know it had burnt once before. It says Foley's Mill served as an area until the 1900s, and when he rented the home to Troy Waddell, Mr. Waddell built a turbine or tub mill just above Foley's Mill. Waddell ground the mill until 1925 when he moved away and abandoned the mill, Foley's Mill. And that's pretty much it. So this was a industrious little spot right here. Now it's all grown up. It's many years later, 2024, and all you have now is a grown up pile of rocks, which didn't look like that back in the day. I'm sure it was a thriving little area. So wow, I would love to have seen it back in its day, because you'd had this old big giant 28-foot water wheel going out the end of this right here, going around and around, the water, rushing water coming through, turning it. And inside you got these big gears hooked up, turning these big stones, which you poured your corn in. It grinded the corn up in the mill. So in this video, I'll have some clips of actual gristmill working a little bit, and what one will look like on the outside. Well, it won't be this one. But, yeah, I'm on my way back out through here. I just met 3 or 4 ladies coming out through here walking. She said, yeah, we just passed that hornet's nest. So I thought I would end this video after I get by this hornet's nest. Let y'all know that I'll make it all right. I think it's actually fell out of a limb. See, it's a limb hooked to it. I think it's fell out of a tree or somewhere on the ground. But I'm gonna go by the main office and let them know about that, because they may want to do something about it, maybe not, I don't know. But it's right here beside of the road nowhere, right here from the parking lot where we're parked. So I don't know. I bet there's a pile of them in there. Get on out of here. All right. Okay, I got by it. Phew. Well, this has been a pretty good little morning here. I just want to thank y'all so much for coming along with me. And we will do another video pretty soon. And this is Appalachian Roots with Dan. We'll be over and out with you for today. So let's get on out of here. Get away from these bees. Catch y'all later.